Welcome, welcome everybody. I really encourage you all to listen to this entire presentation, even if, it seems like it's long or whatever. Like this is like the first intro that I've had time to make for those of you in level 1, level 2, and level 3 support that covers really everything I'm aiming to do with the online marketing strategies. And even if you're in level 1 and you're not able to directly take part in all of the online marketing strategies that those in level 2 and 3 get to do, it does directly impact you because there are people above you in the organization in level 2 and level 3, and spillover will be taking place because of this online marketing stuff I'll be talking about that will be helping you grow your first leg. And it's important for you to be in touch with that tremendous value and that tremendous benefit that you have that's helping you grow your organization. If you're completely out of the loop, don't expect any leads that you do drum up from what I show you how to do to be attracted to join you. And if they do join you, don't expect them to do much. If you're completely out of the loop and you're not thinking about these kinds of things, it shows. And it's not very attractive to join someone in a business or to be excited if you're totally out of the loop. So I'm not saying you have to listen to everything that I put out to you guys. You don't. But when I say, hey, listen up, this one's important, I really encourage you to. And this one is important. Because again, regardless of what level you're in, the online marketing strategies that we'll be employing in level 2 and level 3, in the marketing rotators that some of you are taking advantage of, and in the online marketing strategies that I'm gearing up to be teaching those in level 2 and 3, it benefits everybody, even those in level 1. Okay, so with that said, let me start by thanking the Brain Nutritional Spray. That's Hempworx or My Daily Choices product line with their nutritional sprays. I just took 6 pumps of that. I've got some coffee here, and I also took the 750 CBD. That combo really does an amazing job for me before a presentation and being really clear-minded. The Brain Nutritional Spray, I always did a little coffee, I've been testing, should I take coffee or not take coffee? But the Brain Nutritional Spray with coffee and the CBD 750 full spectrum, it's absolutely incredible. Like, I just, the level of balance and mental clarity for a sustained period of time that I feel, which, it's very natural. It's not like a short, it's just not, if I just do too much caffeine, for example, very uncomfortable, feels very unhealthy. This feels very balanced. Just wanted to share that with you. I do that now just about every time before I do a presentation. This is some pretty comprehensive stuff I'm going to be going through. I'm going to talk about the meeting that I had with Justin, our lead guy, who's helping us manage some marketing using some really specialized tools he has access to that he created himself. And has been using for years, custom stuff. I'm going to talk a little bit about that and a lot about where we're at with the online marketing, not only the online marketing that we're doing for the marketing rotators, but I'm also going to be talking about the online marketing I have planned for those of you in level 2 and level 3. And again, if you're in level 1, even if you don't get to take part in that yet, you could always upgrade to level 2 once you're more aware of what's going on at some point. But remember, again, I'm just going to say it one more time, those that are above you that are in the marketing rotators, or those that are above you that are going to be employing the level 2 or level 3 marketing strategies I'm teaching, that a lot of that will spill over into your leg, driving that leg down. So it's very pertinent to level 1 people too. And if you're in level 1, it's very likely you have some people in your organization below you in level 2 and level 3 who are taking active part in these things. So it's also contributing to the building of your leg. And I know a lot of you take for granted that you've got, not everybody, but a lot of people take for granted the fact that, I put these things in place that are driving down the growth of your leg, and you're just itching to build your second leg, and I get that. But please respect the amount of energy, money, and time it takes on my end to fulfill one of my commitments to you, which is to drive your first leg down. So don't be completely out of the loop on what strategies and what things I'm doing and that we're doing as a team to build that leg down, and that I'm employing to fulfill my end of my commitment to you, which is no small thing, which is to continue to help drive momentum directly in that first leg of yours. And the things that I'm sharing here and the online marketing that we're doing with level 2 and level 3 is directly tied to how I'm fulfilling that end of my commitment. Now, my second commitment to all of you that are in level 1, 2, and 3 is to help you build your second legs. And that's also important, but that is after I have everything locked in to build the first leg. I'm now shifting gears into helping you build the second legs, but it's a multi-step process. First, I'm connecting with you like I am right now and going over my discussion with Justin, with what we're doing with the online marketing to drive down that first leg, because that then leads us into the next chapter, and I'll get into the details today, but that gets us into the next chapter that I'll be following up with you on over the coming days and weeks this month, where I share with you the online marketing strategies I'm going to be teaching level 2 and level 3, in addition to the marketing rotators, which I'll update again on today for those that are participating. In addition to the marketing rotators, I will follow up on all of this, on where I leave this discussion today with you. I'll follow up on this within the next coming days and weeks this month on how we're going to be teaching online marketing strategies based off of what I'm sharing with you today, based off of what I'm doing with the marketing rotators. Everything's connected. So right now I'm focused on getting the marketing rotators going, and then, and again, I get the fact that not all of you are in the marketing rotators. It still pertains to you. Cheer for your team because you're getting spillover, or there's people under you in those rotators. So I'm going to go over that today, but then I'm going to get into the details, into the weeds a little bit, which I think will be very exciting and interesting for a lot of you about what we're working on with Justin, our lead guy, in those marketing rotators. And that connects to what we're going to springboard into next as a team, which is, again, teaching level 2 and level 3 people how to employ some of these online marketing strategies and how to participate even more so perhaps in marketing rotators so that it makes it easier for you to generate leads for your second legs. Now, I know level 1 listening right now is going, but how does that help me build my second leg? Well, it doesn't help you build your second leg. That all drives down your first leg if you're in level 1 support group. Again, as I update you, you can upgrade to level 2 in the future if you want to participate in this stuff, or you're going to get to participate in free online marketing strategies that I show you in level 1, which I'll show in level 2 and level 3 as well. They're not as fast growing, but they are extremely effective. And I'm going to give you all that are in level 1 the same message I've given you from the beginning. And that is, if you're in such a financially challenged situation that you can't put a few $100 extra a month into a business, and that means you more than anybody need to take advantage of everything that's going on here. And that means starting from where you are, taking advantage of what you can. You're in a leg that's growing. That's awesome. And then you should be cheering and excited and supportive of those above you and below you who did get into the marketing rotators. And who are in level 2 and level 3 and are in a financial situation to be able to take advantage of more online marketing to drive down that first leg, because that's half your organization and that's a big deal and you should be excited about that. But if you're in level 1 and you can't partake yet in level 2 or level 3 because it's outside your financial zone, then leverage the free online marketing strategies I'll be teaching you. For right now, while I'm getting all of this in place, this is what I'm focused on right now. It's getting all the online marketing stuff in place first, then moving to the free stuff because that's less powerful. And so we're going to do that next. Right now, you should be going to the Getting Started training that we've exposed you to, and I'll show you where to find that if you missed it. You should be doing your part and plugging in, getting familiar with basic stuff so that you are in the know, so that when you do start getting leads, the leads that reach out to you don't realize they're talking to somebody who's completely out of it, that you actually know what's going on. That's attractive. So be doing your part, I'll be doing my part, and you will win big here. Start from where you are. Don't complain if you don't have the financial resources. Don't complain if you're limited on time. Just max out what you have, okay? I'll get off my soapbox for now, but understand that mindset is everything here. You have everything it takes to win big. but nobody can give you the mindset. I can speak to it. I can tell you what kind of mindset it looks like, feels like to win. Ultimately, though, it's your decision. You're going to max out what you have to work with, or are you just going to complain and focus on, what you can't do and what you don't have? I'll leave the rest to you on that decision. So let's look right now at left leg, right leg. This is my left leg and right leg. Most of you are in my left leg. It's growing like bonkers. It's doing fantastic. I mean, we just got it started a month ago. And, it shows new affiliates and customers, so 17 total in my leg. Some of those fell underneath you guys. Auto, maybe a lot of them did. You can check your stats. Lots of auto ships, really, really, really good, really strong. Here on the 4th day of January for this leg, and again, my stats will be a little more than yours because I got everybody in my leg, but it's growing like bonkers. Total tree volume, 12,700 in the first 4 days. It's just a really, really good. Most of you are in that leg. Now, some of you have started falling in my right leg. It's not as big, but it is a good start. I personally brought in 5 this month so far. I'm only on day 4. I'm at the top of the leaderboard again. I'm kind of surprised by that because it's not a big emphasis of mine right now. I'm really starting to shift gears into helping you guys get on the leaderboard. But I need to lead by example, and I want to keep the gas on the pedal as much as I can there. And so it's cool that I'm still on the leaderboard as of right now. Don't know how long I'll be able to maintain that and support you guys at the same time, but I'm going to do my best to pull off both. So I'm leading from the front in terms of bringing people in. Whenever somebody shifts in my position, shifts into a support mode too much, there's a point where that has to happen. But if I do it too quickly and I go into support mode, sometimes a person in my position can get out of touch with what it means to be on the front lines, to be bringing people in, and just get a little comfortable. And I just want to do my best to lead from the front for as long as I can and be proactive about bringing people in myself for as long as I can, even as I'm transitioning here into supporting you guys and creating content and systems and marketing that promote you guys. I still feel it's very important that I continue to bring people in myself for as long as I can. So if you fell on my second leg, don't be discouraged. Don't be disappointed, because I'm going to get this leg going just like this one. When again, people who fail at businesses or fail at particularly online businesses or things like this, at anything really, have a mindset that focuses on like what you lost, or I wish I came in sooner, or like all these things that are really negative and disempowering. When what you want to, anyone can do that at any time. We could complain about what we missed or what we could have done better. That's not how you win. You can win from where you are right now at any time. You step on the winning track by shifting your focus onto how can I maximize where I'm at right now with what I have. And then again, people with a losing mindset, when they hear that, they'll go, well, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to sign people up. Again, that's focused on the problem. The solutions-oriented way of addressing that would be, what can I do right now that moves me forward with where I'm at? And if you literally don't know, I've directed you to go through the Getting Started training. And if you've gone through one of them, like Team Inspire, or, and again, I'll show you where to find those if you've been out of the loop on that. Then there's another one from Aaron Rashkin, like getting assimilated and acclimatized to all the resources and all the different types of training while I'm getting this in place is how you can maximize your time right now. And of course, I've said leading with the product, getting the product out there, testing it thoroughly yourself, testing different products, having people around you test different products. These are all active things that you can be doing as I'm preparing the marketing rotators, as I'm preparing the online marketing training, all stuff that I'm releasing this month. And, as I'm getting the momentum going in your first leg. But anyway, if you're in this leg on the right and you're not as much as happening as if you fell on the left, that's true, but things are happening. New pre-enrollees, 29 this month. We're only on the 4th day, so that's pretty darn good for a leg that I haven't even started really focused on yet. New affiliates and customers, 5 this month. You don't see there's a total of 6. Auto ships 2. It's just starting to get going. I haven't really started supporting that group yet as I did this group. It just started. So if you're in that group, you're going to see massive momentum too. I'm going to get both these legs going, and you're not going to have any problem with momentum in that first leg, because I'm committed to keeping those growing and going. Okay, so you can check your stats and see how you're doing, how you're growing. All of you are going to see that your first leg is picking up momentum, and it's just going to continue to do so. Now let's go look at the groups real quick before and I want to come back before I do this. I want to come back to, regardless of what group you're in, level 1, level 2, level 3, the top 100 group we've been referencing is level 3. We are going to now have a level 3 that's not top 100. For those of you who follow what I'm saying right now, if you don't worry about it. But the point is, different people here listening right now are in different groups at different levels of understanding of what's going on. Some of you are not in the marketing rotators. Some of you don't even know what I'm talking about when I mention marketing rotators. That's okay. Understand that everything that I'm referencing in the rest of this presentation benefits you. Please keep that in mind, even if you're not able to participate. Because of the nature of us working together to drive volume down in one leg, it helps you massively. Now listen, I get the fact that level 2 and level 3, it might sound more exciting because they get to build their second legs with the stuff that I'm talking about today. And if you're in level 1, the stuff I'm talking about today just builds your first leg. But that's still a big deal. Okay, it's still a really big deal. And I'm going to say it one more time, if you can't afford to come into level 2 or level 3 yet, to start applying the kinds of online marketing strategies I'm talking about today, you should still take the time to learn about the online marketing strategies we're working on. You should still take the time where you get the opportunity to hear me update about the marketing rotators like I'm going to do today. Even if you're not in those marketing rotators, you should take the time to at least understand what's going on, because it still benefits you. And it helps you articulate later as leads start coming into your second line, because I will be showing you in level 1 free online marketing strategies and all kinds of strategies to bring in people into your second line, even if you're in level 1. It won't be the guerrilla online marketing strategies I'm talking about today, but it will. If you're in level 1, you will be learning other methods, free online marketing methods that do build that second line. And as people come into that second line, if you're in level 1, you want to be able to articulate, or at least understand enough of what's going on. So when you're passing on emails that I give you to them, and those are leading them to presentations that I give you, you want to at least have an understanding of what they can plug into, because your leads might be able to do level 2 or level 3, even though you're in level 1. But if you're completely clueless, because you're thinking, well, I'm not in the marketing rotator, so it doesn't pertain to me. Or you're thinking, I'm not able to do the online marketing strategies that he's talking about today because I'm in level 1, and you dismiss it and don't listen and don't engage with it, then when they send you a question or whatever, first of all, I doubt you're even going to value those leads enough if you're approaching things that way to follow up with them properly or anything. Secondly, if you do follow up with them, they're going to know. They're not going to, if they ask a kind of question or something that you just don't have a clue what's going on, they watch my presentation and you're totally out of the loop, they're going to feel it. It's not going to be attractive. You're not going to attract level 2s and level 3s that do guerrilla online marketing or fast growing online marketing, or who apply the same system I use, which is really crazy growth online marketing in level 3. You're not going to attract people in your team in your second leg that do that if you're out of the loop. So again, even if you're in level 1, take the time to understand all this. And those of you in level 2 and level 3, really discipline yourself to communicate what I just did to those that you're working with that are at level 1. Because a lot of them are going to have the tendency, there's a reason why they're stuck, right? People that are in a financially challenged position, there's a reason. And a lot of it are thought habits and where their mind goes. And so what you need to, if you're in level 2 and level 3, you need to have the discipline to be able, and the courage to be able to communicate to your level 1 business builders that they need to stay in the know. That even if they're not in a marketing rotator, when they have an opportunity to get an update like this, to really pay attention, because it does affect them, and help them understand how the spillover affects them, and to help them understand how important it is that they're aware of all the resources that this team provides, so that when their prospects have questions or what have you, it's obvious that they know what's going on. Otherwise, they will never attract bigger players, people that put money into the opportunity, people who invest, people who put money into marketing. They'll never attract that. And so, they'll be limited simply because they're not attuning their mind and focus onto all of the opportunities and advantages of being on our team. So you got to be able to articulate that and certainly understand it if you're in level 1 right now. That's how you're going to advance. You're going to want to understand all the different advantages of being on our team, even if you can't take part in all of them just yet, understand how you're still benefiting from them. And then understanding that if you're going to attract serious players to your business to see that big growth this year, you need to follow what's going on so you can articulate it, or at least be connected enough to what the heck is going on here, that you see the urgency, you see the importance, because that's going to come through in your interactions with prospects. And again, if you're at the point where you don't even know how to generate prospects, we're going to get you there one step at a time. So today I'm updating again, on the online marketing stuff. I had a meeting with Justin, who's one of our resources for how we're going to generate leads early on. And I had promised level 2 and level 3. I'd give him an update, and I decided to go ahead and include level 1 in on this, because we're really all a team. Again, looking at this left leg as an example, again, right leg 2 will be as big as this soon. But looking at this as an example, all the stats and all the growth, it doesn't matter what level you're on. One person wins on this team, everyone benefits from that win because there's spillover. Okay. So with that said, let me just real quick, I'm going to go to my meeting with Justin and talk specifically about the online marketing strategies that we're employing and where we're at in that process. Before I do, I just wanted to look at this is level 1 support in Facebook. So if you don't know what's going on, you need to either be in this group and know how to access it, or this group, which is level 2, or this group, which is called right now Top 100. Pretty soon, this is level 3 though, by the way. Any day now, I'm going to create another group that's level 3, because Top 100's closed forever. We do have like 2 spots left for those in level 2. If you've been sitting on that, we do have 2 spots left, but it's basically closed forever. As soon as we have 100, it's closed, and I haven't been promoting it, so it's basically closed because we can only have 100 in there, because everyone in there got into a rotator, and I'm going to talk about that rotator today. Again, even if you're not in that rotator, don't cry about it. That's going to benefit you tremendously because of spillover and all kinds of stuff. But this is just, and it's also where we're kicking off testing marketing, which I'm going to go over today, where we're at with that. And that kicks off, as I was saying earlier, it springboards us into the online marketing I'm going to be teaching. And this kicks off all kinds of benefits to all of you, even level 1, because it'll allow us to attract people into your second leg who want to participate in this and blast off. So even if you couldn't get into the top 100 group, we're still all benefiting from what we're doing in here, because I'm using this to springboard our online marketing testing, which I'll go over in just a second. But I won't reference top 100 much, if at all, anymore in presentations like this. It might come up a little bit over the next couple of weeks, but when I'll address obviously the top 100, but when I'm speaking to all of the community, top 100 won't be mentioned much anymore. I'm going to refer to them as level 3, and we will be inviting more people into level 3, not the top 100 specifically, because that was a limited thing, but we will have a level 3 support group where we'll be doing marketing rotators and a lot of the same kinds of things, and offer the same kinds of advantages either to you guys who want to graduate into that later when you better understand it, or for people who come into your team lines who want to play big. So there'll be a way for them to come in. So soon you'll see me referencing level 3, and we'll have another Facebook group for level 3. You guys are either in there right now or you're in level 2, which we call it Team Builder. And by the way, if you bring in people who meet the criteria to be in level 2, you can invite them into this group. I believe that if you go to your announcement post at the top of that group, it lists out what the criteria are, does it? Yes, down here. So you can review what the criteria are to be in the different groups. If you have someone that you brought in that can be in level 2, you can invite them in. And level 1, where is that? Level 1, same thing. You should be able to go to the announcements post in this group and see what a quick outline of the 3 different levels and what the criteria are. You can upgrade to the next level, or if someone that you've brought in meets those criteria, you can invite them into this group for support. We're just getting the support going. I only started a month ago, guys, and my first focus was to build monster legs and break records in the company and prove to all of you not only that the online marketing strategies that I use work, but they work, exceptionally well, exponentially, even 3.5 times better than the next marketer in the company who's phenomenal. I really wanted to drill that point home, that I'm not playing when I say the strategies that I'm sharing work, so that I can have your attention. So we accomplish that while at the same time building massive volume for you guys to help you build half your organizations. That's where my focus has been. But now it's shifting here in January, and it actually started working on this in late December, and now it's shifting almost entirely now onto the online marketing itself. And so stay tuned. This month is all about giving you training. If you're in level 1, that's going to be free online marketing training. If you're in level 2, that's going to be the stuff I'm talking about today, that I'm going to give you access to plugging into. And same thing with level 3, the more guerrilla style marketing methods. Okay, where do I begin with my meeting with Justin, our lead guy? I think I will begin by going to, let me just close that because my computer's getting a little slow. We're having so much up. Let me begin by going to our rotator. So again, the people in here are in the top 100 group. And those in the top 100 group got a share in this rotator. Again, we're going to have lots of opportunities to join other rotators. We had a second rotator like that you could earn shares in. Some of you know what I'm talking about. That ended at the end of December. I created that so that there'd be momentum and growth, to create an incentive for you guys to get to work before I really had all my training in place yet. And, it worked very, very well. Many of you did a fantastic job of bringing people on board before I really was able to offer any training yet in that area. And over 100 and some people, like a lot of people brought people in. A lot of you have won shares in that second rotator. I'm going to update us on that separately. I know I keep pushing that off, but it's because my team has been swamped and the team didn't come in today, Saturday. So I will update you on if you won shares or think you won shares in the second rotator, we'll update you separately on that. Right now, I'm going to talk about those in the top 100. And again, I want to remind you, even if you're not in the top 100, this pertains to you for 2 reasons. A, the traffic coming in here, a lot of it will spill over into your first leg. And B, I'm going to get into a discussion here about my meeting with Justin, who's the guy that we work with to drive these leads and traffic. And that springboards us into the online marketing training and opportunities I'm going to open up to you guys later this month. And I'm going to update you on where we're at with the testing and the lead generation. So even if you're not in the top 100 group and not in this rotator, the work that I'm doing here and the details I'm covering about how we're approaching testing and lead generation, it all pertains to you because it springboards us into the type of online marketing I'll be teaching you and the opportunities I'll be opening up to all of you in level 2 and level 3. And I'm just going to say it one more time. If you're in level 1 and you're like, I said it earlier, I'm going to say it again to make sure it's clear. You're saying, ah, shucks, I can't participate in all these cool online marketing strategies because I don't have the funds or what have you to be in level 2 or 3. First of all, remember, this is all going to help build your first leg, which is one of my big commitments to you, and it's no easy task. So please don't dismiss it. It's massive, and I think it will pay major dividends for you to follow along and understand how the team is helping you build that first leg. Number two, when we do show you free online marketing strategies in level 1 and any other methods that we're going to plug you into that help you build that second leg in level 1 with your leads, we're going to give you presentations and emails that let them know, your prospects know, of how they can come in and they'll see the options for level 2 and 3. And these online marketing strategies will be some of those options. So this very much does pertain to helping you build that second leg. And at that point, when some committed people start coming into that second leg and you've got more income to work with, you can then upgrade into these strategies. So everything I'm talking about pertains to everybody, no matter what level you're in and whether or not you're in the top 100 rotator, okay? All right, so real quick, I know those of you in top 100 already know this, but for those that haven't seen this before, this is what a rotator looks like. Over here it says hits per cycle. That's what this is. Hits per cycle. It says 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 all the way down, because some people have 0 because they haven't met us for some criteria, but almost everybody got in. And that means that they get 1 rotation. It means those that are in this marketing rotator, this is their lead capture page link. And it's showing that, okay, when we market, and I'll talk about how we're marketing these in a bit, which again leads into opportunities that are going to open up to those of you in level 2 and 3 pretty soon. When we're marketing this, it hits this page, and then because they just have 1 share, it rotates to the next person. Prospect comes to this page, and then because they have 1 share, it goes to this page, and just rotates down till it rotates through everybody, then comes back around. And over here, it's showing total hits. It's showing this person's got 26 hits to the page, and that's turned into 9 pre-enrollees. This person's had 26 hits to the page, 10 pre-enrollees. This person's had 26 hits to the page and 8 pre-enrollees. So the number of pre-enrollees can differ slightly, but through the law of averages over time, as prospects keep rotating through this, it evens out pretty evenly. Now there's some people we added later in the rotator, if I scroll way down here, who like 10 hits to the page and 0 pre-enrollees. And here's one with 10 hits to the page and 1 pre-enrollee. These people were just added, and I had an update yesterday that was because I had asked Justin on Christmas. In fact, I think I didn't put this in my video update, but I wrote it. I forgot I had even asked him this because it was such a crazy time. I was getting reports that some of the emails that prospects were entering in weren't good emails. And it's because we just turned this thing on and we were sending people directly to these pages, to these My Daily Choice lead capture pages, which, let me show you what I'm talking about. Like, I'm assuming most of you know what I'm talking about, but we're just sending people into these pages. And what I'd like to do is have them come to a video of Robin and I. I'm going to talk more about that today, where they see a video from us, getting them excited, and then they click a button and it rotates into these lead capture pages. Then we're going to get better results. So I had written Justin around Christmas time saying, go ahead and turn off the leads for now until we can get more in place or have a discussion, because I was really overwhelmed at the time and just getting everyone still in here and just getting the thing cranking up. So he went ahead and turned it off. So all the people that show like 10 hits to the page and no leads, or 10 hits to the page and 1 lead, these are people that got added into the rotator after I asked him to turn it off. And so these hits are actually just from my social media, like what I posted on YouTube and Facebook. And there's not as high of a conversion as those that were getting a lot of leads from him, because, well, a couple of reasons. I think a lot of the clicks initially are people that are already in Hempworx just curious, and that's going to kind of slow down, I think, after everyone that's kind of already in Hempworx has clicked and seen what it's leading to. But the other thing is, when people are clicking on my social media on YouTube or Facebook, they're expecting to sign up with me. And right now they're seeing a page like this that has someone else's name at the top. So I think it makes them stop. And so, this is all part of marketing. You just get things up and running, and then you notice these things and you make adjustments. So one of the next things that we're going to do, and I'll talk more about this today when I get into the details of my discussion with Justin, and what we're going to do with the marketing going forward, we're going to have, it go into a page, like I said, with a video of me and Robin, and I'm going to explain, and I'm going to create a separate one for my social media than Justin's using, or that we might be using in other marketing. And in my social media one, I'm going to explain to them, look, I work with my team. If you want to work with me, you're going to want to click the button below. You're going to see my team, someone on my team's name come up in the website, la-di-da-di-da. They're going to understand what's going on and that they want to opt in order to work with me, even though they see someone else's name. So that's something that we're going to do to address that for those that are in the top 100. And again, if you're not in the top 100, you're benefiting from all this, because a lot of this is spilling over into your first leg. I will help you all build your second leg. We can't all do it the exact same way. There are unlimited ways to build your second leg, even within the online marketing world. And so don't worry, this all benefits you. Okay, so that's what's going on here. We just got it going. And then I had a meeting with Justin today, and we got into some real details, and that's what I'm going to get into now. I know a lot of this is going to be over some of your heads, especially those of you in level 1 who have never been involved with online marketing before. I'm going to give it to you anyway. I encourage you to take as much of it you can in, because the more you know, the easier it's going to be for you to use my emails, my presentations, and everything I'm about ready to roll out this month. It's going to be easier for you to attract people that are serious business builders if you're following what's going on here. If you're completely out of the loop and not even making an effort to understand, what are the odds of you attracting someone like me into your second leg? Probably not very much. But if you're making an attempt to understand it, at least enough to be able to, demonstrate that you're a part of the team and not just like some looky-loo on the outside looking in, but you're actually a part of the team, that's going to allow you to attract business builders into your second leg, leveraging me and this online marketing and all the presentations and so forth I'm about to give you. Okay, so I met with Justin. We went over this data. He reminded me around Christmas time, I told him to turn it off. We've decided to go ahead, and for those of you in the top 100 Rotator, we're turning it on. He said sometime tonight it should crank back up again. And I'm going to go over what he's doing to generate leads and how that leads us into, the online marketing training and opportunities I'm going to be providing those of you in level 2 and 3 in a minute. I'll go over all that. But just so you know that those of you in top 100, he will be cranking that back on, and we expect to see leads start to come in maybe sometime late tonight or early tomorrow, and we'll go ahead and leave that on. Now, it's going to be driving people into pages that look like this for now. But, one thing we talked about with them is pretty quickly, we might want to move into some of the new lead capture pages. Let me see if I can, there's been some new ones added that are absolutely amazing looking, and we're going to start split testing. So for example, we want to start split testing that one we've been doing against this one and seeing which does better. And then also testing against this one and seeing which one does better. I really do like this one as opposed to this one that we're using now. So when he cranks it on today, he's going to have it still go to the one we were, which is this one. But we will start looking at some of these other ones, for example, like this one or this one. I really like this one here. But they do have some really great new ones that came out. We could go into a lot of details about which ones might attract which different audiences. You really have to stop thinking completely in terms of your own perception and think about, okay, who are people, where are people at that are going to take action, most likely to take action right away, who are most likely to ask the right kinds of questions, to fixate on the right kinds of things, who kind of just, regardless of who they are in any other way, are the type of people who win. That's, you got to start thinking that way if you want to win. You want to attract winners. And so, that's kind of what they're thinking about when they create this ambience. For those of you on the East Coast, maybe it's ambiance. When they create this feeling through photography and the models that they choose and the words that they choose on the screen, they as marketers, when they create these pages, are thinking about these kinds of things and different markets. This one more focused maybe on the product. I actually like to lead a lot of times with these kinds of ones, pages that look like this, or maybe this, or maybe this, because the success of my brand has been, which you guys are going to be borrowing. So I'm going to be giving you presentations, and we're going to be creating, as I said, a page, and I'm going to describe it in a little bit, that actually has a video with me and Robin, and there's like a system behind it before they even come here. So you're going to be leaning on the success of my brand and my messaging and my knowledge of speaking to a very particular audience, which is a large audience, who have an issue with trust. The best people out there, the ones that are most likely to have a sphere of influence, the ones that are most enjoyable to work with and that will stick around through the long run and actually succeed, their biggest issue is trust. And when you have high gloss stuff like let's see if I can find them again, some of these, and they really have some good ones, and like this one, it's good, but like some of these, like this one here, this one here, this one here, the high gloss and glamour look is attractive as it is in some sense. It has the disadvantage of not building trust. And one of the major reasons why I've had so much success is I kind of go the other way. Like, you're not going to see me. I think I had like one video of me in a Range Rover in 2010, but it's going to be very hard for you to find me in any shots that surround with material wealth. And that's because that kind of imagery tends to attract a certain kind of audience. It isn't that we shouldn't use it. I think they did a really good job actually with this. But the strength of my brand traditionally has been downplaying that kind of stuff, which is why we led with this one. And again, we're going to test this one and this one. And we might play around with the other ones too, but I'm most comfortable with these because my success of my brand has been downplaying the hype of all of that materialism. And even though I speak to, these kinds of things and being able to create abundance in your life and so forth, when people are just meeting you for the first time online, you can kind of trigger things when you go to where, too glamorous. Again, they did a really good job. So these are some of the best I've seen that do that. But I still going to be leaning on, and therefore you guys will be too, leaning on the success I've had of really building trust early on, but kind of downplaying some of that and speaking to what they really need. And what they really need, which we'll be addressing in videos that we're creating right now, that they'll see first before they end up at these lead capture pages. Again, this pertains to those of you in the top 100 rotator, the other rotator some of you won shares in, future rotators that we're going to give you all that are in level 2 and level 3 access to, additional ones. And then those of you who are going to be learning online marketing from me, you're going to be using, our tools and our resources and all of that. Well, one of them that's going to be very important will be that page we're building right now with a video of us. And it's really going to be, before they land on any of these pages, these Hempworx pages, we're going to be sharing with them what they really need to hear most, which is, they need to hear that there's this incredible opportunity to partner with a company and a team who has a highly effective system to help them build their organizations. And we're going to be speaking to people who understand that language because they're the fastest movers. Now, a year from now, or 18 months from now, or 24 months from now, maybe 36 months from now, that message will start to change. But for quite a while still, we're going to be able to go after those that are opportunity seekers who've either had success before or maybe are having success now in another company, but they're ready to make a move or a transition for some reason, they're unhappy where they are. Or we're speaking to a really large market of people that have had enough experience in the industry to understand the language of network marketing and opportunity and being able to build a distribution network, being able to build an income and freedom from home, who understand that language and that culture, and are ready to if you can build trust with them, they're on board immediately. And if you're answering to their specific needs, you're able to bring them on board immediately and get them into action. So they need to hear the excitement of the help they're going to get from this system, and because of the experience that I bring to help them build their organization and share, things like I am with you today, but obviously a boiled down version early on, where we're testing marketing and we're passing on our presentations, our email content, web pages that we're creating, and passing on the online marketing strategies that those that want to join us at level 2 or level 3 will get to take part in. And for those that have to join at a lower level, an opportunity for them to get the momentum growing in their first leg from all of that, from other people's efforts and resources, while helping them build with free online marketing methods or other leading with the product or what have you, and giving them resources to attract people who want to come in at level 2 or 3 and take advantage of these guerrilla online marketing strategies. Like, that's kind of wrapped up into that early message. And then we're saying, first click the button below and go fill out your name and email. And in the video, we'll show them like a page like this and say, fill this out. You're going to opt in. You're going to come into the teamline, and then we're going to get to start building momentum into your organization while you're even researching this. And then, after you've taken that step, come back to this page, click on step 2, and we're going to share more of what's happening, of what it means to have a team line growing underneath you, and what are some key things that you want to be looking at when you're looking at joining an opportunity. For example, how big is the industry? How well is the company proven that they can handle growth and do a great job of putting marketing together, marketing systems together, and a great product line together that's actually going to feed a consumer demand, so you have long-term potential residual income. And then 3, I'll address in that video, and then come back and click click step 2 to learn more about how we help you build your organization, which is the missing link for most people. So they'll hit a page when whether we're talking about the Rotator and the marketing we're doing there. And again, I'll get into the details of the meeting I had with Justin with where we're at with that. But whether we're talking about marketing that or the online marketing strategies I'm rolling out this month to help you guys build, whether you want to plug into the same kind of marketing I'm doing with Justin, or maybe do some Facebook ads that we're going to help you set up, or YouTube ads that we're going to roll out later, probably February or March, whatever you decide to plug into, or you're purchasing leads, which we're going to test and show you the results of as well, because you can purchase leads here. But I've asked you guys to either hold off on that, or if you venture ahead, to know that, I don't know what the results are there yet, but we're going to test that too. All the different things that we're going to do in the online marketing space. My point is, we're going to be encouraging you to first send them your leads to a page where Robin and I are breaking down why this is such a big deal, and that walks them through a series of steps that take them further than the company can. So, for example, if we just did what the company did, they now have this great system in place, but I want to have you just watch a few seconds of this. I'm going to come back and explain why this would not be effective in my book if it's all you had alone. And it's not the company's fault. It's just, that's the way it is. The company will always need us, you and me, and people to represent the company, to build a relationship and build trust. I think they did a great job with the market they're aiming to reach out to, which are action takers. That's what we want, whether you're one or not. By the way, if you're not a big-time action taker in business who knows how to make a lot of money really fast, then some of this stuff will turn you off. But don't let that be your demise. Realize that you get to partner with a company like My Daily Choice, Hempworx, who knows how to attract action takers, and partner with that. So keep that in mind when we watch this. It's attracting action takers, and that's what you want. And even if you're not historically an action taker who knows how to make a lot of money in a short period of time and create transformational change financially, leveraging online opportunities, even if you're not that person, you get to align with all of this in order to attract people like that to achieve your goals. You need to connect with people with where they're at, who are going to take action. So the company's done a great job of that. But what they really can't do is build trust, and to be able to, promise the kind of support that we can to our individual team here that you guys are all a part of. And so let me just show you. So that's why we're building that different first page to send them to first, to set all of this up. And then after we tell them to opt in, we tell them to come back to the page and click on step 2, and we're explaining more. We're framing all this, we're building trust, and we're helping them understand how we help them win here uniquely on our team. And you guys are going to get to leverage all that. You're going to get to use that same presentation, whether we're marketing again through a marketing rotator, or we're teaching you the online marketing strategies that we're coming out with later this month, which I'll talk more about today, or we're talking, whatever we're talking about, or you're buying leads somewhere. We're going to be giving you this presentation, and we're going to be giving you the follow-up emails and additional follow-up presentations that support the company's presentations. We're not going to just rely on the company's presentations. Let me just play this a little bit. I love what they put together. Someone opts in I don't know if you know what I'm looking at. Someone opts into the teamline, the lead capture page. This is what they now see. Company did a great job. I want you to watch this just for a minute, and I'm going to come back and keep. I shouldn't have hit refresh because I was opted into my other page. Let me see. Do I have that open somewhere else? I do. Okay, let me play it from here.
The movie industry.
One second. So again, if you're not an action taker who knows exactly how to make a lot of money in a short period of time with online opportunities, this culture will not appeal to you. Do not let that be your demise. If you're judging this in a negative way in any way, that should be a red flag to you that you're losing. You need to look at this from the perspective of, this is being designed to attract action takers who are looking for an opportunity. They want excitement. They want a lot of excitement. There's a certain set of images, sounds, and feelings and emotions that need to be lit up in them. Doesn't matter if it has that effect on you. You want to look at this as an intelligent entrepreneur and align yourself with a company that knows how to attract them. This definitely does that. You want to attract extroverted people, even if you're an introvert, okay? It's really, really important. You want to attract people that want to get fired up, even if you don't want to get fired up yourself. You want to attract people that are attracted to excitement, movement. That was Bob Proctor there, who was famous from The Secret. Also, Les Brown was there. You know, it's impressive. You know, if you're not attracted to the flashing of money, if you're not attracted to awards, super affiliate awards, you know, then you need to set yourself up, align yourself with a company that's going to attract people like that into your team. Now, my concern, again, if you're not attracted to expensive cars, personally, you still want to attract people who are, because they're going to be more motivated. In marketing, you got to meet people where they're at. Okay, so let me just kind of fast forward. Now, Josh's demeanor is actually quite candid, and he has kind of he creates an element of trust that is pretty unusual, actually, from a CEO of a network marketing company.
This is Josh Zwagel, CEO and founder of My Daily Choice.
He's pretty down to earth, and I think that helps us tremendously. Now, my only concern with this video is we're 1 minute into a pretty hypey presentation, exceptionally well done presentation. I think in many ways they're modeling ClickFunnels for those of you online, which has proven to be really successful, also kind of attracted kind of that hyped up culture, and it proved to be a phenomenally successful way to go. I have no qualms at all with this presentation. I think they did fantastic. You know, but it is not enough on its own. And that's why a network marketing company will always need you, will always need me, will always need us to build trust and to explain how we're going to help them build a business, okay? Now, he does a good job of explaining who they are. He does a good job of breaking down in simple form what network marketing is, which I think is going to be really, really helpful in the grand scheme of things. Now, that's not really our market. The market we're going after right now predominantly is already kind of knowledgeable about that kind of stuff, but it will reignite the excitement in them and show them that this company's got it together. And then it moves on to step 2, and it guides them in how to get paid and then getting started. So it's a really good job, but if it was their first and only introduction, you know, again, we wouldn't break the barrier of trust building, and we wouldn't be addressing their biggest fear, which is how are they going to do it? You know, and that's what, you know, most of you that are listening to this right now joined us because that's what I accomplished with you. I was able to establish trust by just genuinely speaking to what the heck is going on from really like intimate and candid terms, and which has been, you know, the success of my brand for over a decade. It works for me. It's always worked. I'm going to keep leaning on it because it feels best to me. It's so effective for obvious reasons. It only works because I've been around the block, so I can speak to it, and I know what people are fearful of, and because I've experienced it myself many years ago, worked through it. So I can be candid and really reach people pretty quickly. I'm going to put that into my presentation, just like what got your attention will get their attention, your leads and prospects' attention, before they come here. So again, those of you in the Rotator and those of you who are going to be enacting the online marketing strategies I'm going to be employing with you in levels 2 and 3, I got to finish up the page we're creating where Robin and I will be in a video talking about, hey, the CBD revolution is here, and we can help you with this powerful system and company start building the volume in your business even before you get started while you're checking it out. And, you know, I'll talk a little bit about first take the first step below and opt into the page, but then come right back here. Don't just look at the company's information, because we have a unique team with unique experience here to help you build your business. So after you opt in, you know, you can check out the site a little bit, but leave enough time to come back here and press step 2. And in step 2, we're going to share with you how we help you build the business. So we're going to guide them through this process of, and while we're doing it, building trust with them and helping them understand how we can really help them accomplish their goals, because that's their biggest fear, is how are they going to do it? because maybe they failed in previous opportunities. Maybe they're struggling with confidence issues, or maybe they don't feel competent in this industry. They don't know what to do. We're going to address all of that really quickly without going into detail, letting them know that that's what we're going to help them with. First, opt in so we can start helping get momentum going in the team line, and then come back here to basically understand what's going on and how we can help you. Now, that urgency, that excitement, that candidness that I bring is really, my brand, and you guys are going to get, it's what allows me to be so effective. Again, I showed you guys, I think you guys all are already sold on the strategies and the branding and the messaging that I bring, but just in case, you might want to see, I'm on the leaderboard again for January at the very top. You got to understand, if this is compared to some of the best marketers in the world. We're only, what are we on the 4th day? So I've got an 11 here. I'm surprised I got one while I was doing this presentation. If I scroll down to December, 214, the next runner up, and these are phenomenal marketers. Sandy Krakowski's famous. She had 48, which is extraordinary. 49 was third, 67 was second. Even if you scroll down to 20th, 20 people, absolutely impressive, mind-boggling impressive. This is one of the best companies in the world in terms of having marketers. And even if you're on the top 100, it's amazing. I just want to really drill home. It wasn't just a fluke. Here we are in January, and I want to say again, I'm not sharing this with you to impress you or boast. I share it to impress upon you that the candid style of messaging and marketing that I bring, that you're going to get to use, and how I address people's fears that they can't do it, and how I go the extra mile, like what I'm going to be sharing with you today with the meeting I had with Justin, and what we're going to do next with testing and marketing and all of that. Like the hard work that I'm willing to bring to this, where most people would have retired a long time ago, that's what attracts people, because of all of that that's going to be happening with them and for them and on their behalf. The same things that attracted you. What I'm saying is I'm now putting the system in place, starting with that presentation and that page I just described, that the Rotator is going to promote, but also that all of you in level 2 and 3 that are going to be employing online marketing strategies that I'm going to be teaching you, that's an important part of it that you guys all have to have access to, that I'm building right now. So that everything that has worked so far, you get to now use. You're going to get to borrow my messaging, borrow the strength of my branding, the candidness, the messaging that speaks directly to what people need to know to really take action and get on board. You're going to get to use all of that. And that's what I'm setting up right now. Okay. So yes, let me go back. Yes, for those of you in the top 100 right now, yes, we're turning on the traffic again. And yes, it's going to the old page for now, which is like here. But know that that's not where we're going to leave it. We're going to test some of these. And then we're also, which I'll report on to you as we, probably weeks from now before we have any new information, but we are going to promote those too and test them. And more importantly, I'm putting together the new presentation I just described with me and Robin in a video that brings this to a whole nother level. And I'm still putting that together, but the leads will start turning on again and coming through. I'll say one more time, I know I keep repeating, but I worry about those of you in level 1 who are like, well, I'm not in the Rotator, or those of you in level 2 that aren't in the Rotator. Look, first of all, there's a second Rotator I'll update you guys on soon that a lot of you did earn shares in. And I just want to repeat, even if you're not in either of the 2 Rotators, there will be new opportunities for new Rotators soon. This is the springboard to all of that. And the same marketing I'm about ready to go over with you in more detail that we're doing here is the first step to what I'm bringing those of you who are in level 2 and 3 that you'll get to employ. So stay tuned. I'm about ready to go over more detail of the type of marketing we're doing to drive leads into this Rotator, which everyone in level 2 and level 3 will soon have access to. And then those of you in level 1, remember, this is all creating spillover to drive your first leg down, which is no small feat. So please appreciate it. It's a big deal. And once I have this in place, I can then move on to teaching you the free online strategies and so forth to build your second leg. In the meantime, you can be going through the getting started training, that we introduced you to do the best you can for now to drive your second leg down. But I will be circling back around once all of this online marketing stuff's in place to teach you the free online marketing methods if you're in level 2, or sorry, if you're in level 1. And if you're in level 1, all of this that I'm putting together and about ready to discuss is what will allow you to attract higher committed people into your second leg when you start generating leads, okay? Be patient, try to understand, try to follow along. I'm going to have webinars pretty soon and Q&As. Please be respectful of the hard work we're putting into this. I say that knowing that many of you are. I say that, though, to those that have a tendency to fixate on what's not happening for them yet, what they want to happen faster, la-di-da-di-da, that leads you to failure every single time. I doubt you will ever see people work this hard. And it's not just me, it's Robin Lynn, it's Justin, who we've now hired and worked with, who's going the extra mile because they know that if we make you happy, this is going to explode his business as well for lead generation. There's a lot of people here. Even our VAs work overtime insanely. There's a lot of people working here on your behalf. And what can often happen is when you have so many people doing so much for you, a person can take it for granted because you haven't paid enough money or put enough sweat equity to really understand what's involved and what the payoff will be if you see it through. And so be careful about not letting that happen to you. Don't underestimate the value of what we're bringing. And again, I'm not speaking to all of you. I'm just speaking to those of you who just have a tendency to drift when I'm doing presentations like this, the tendency to let your everyday life suck you back into your everyday life, never allowing the opportunity to grow beyond that. The people who are listening right now that have a tendency to complain about what's not happening faster, how you want us to help you build your second leg now, not tomorrow, not next week, but now, and who aren't taking in what I'm saying, you're at great risk of not just failing here, but failing everywhere. It is very unlikely you'll ever have a group of people working this hard for you again. So please appreciate it, give it lots of gratitude and love, and it will love you back. Okay, so with that said, let's go into my discussion with Justin. There's a bunch of stuff I'm just going to randomly pull up. I did not have time to put this into a polished presentation, and you might not be able to see what I'm looking at, but will guide me. I just took snapshots while I was talking with them. So basically, what we're testing, the way we're generating leads right now in the Rotator, and what I'm testing for and aiming to improve, and I'll talk about what we're doing now and what we're going to improve it into. I kind of already covered that, but I'll remind you. All of this that I'm about ready to go over doesn't just pertain to the rotators and how we're generating leads for the rotators right now, but also pertains to what I'm trying to get in place to make it easy for those of you in level 2 and level 3 to be able to participate and even generate more leads for your second leg. So that's what this is all about. Now, it won't be the only method that we use, but if it is as effective as it appears it will be, I think it will be our best opportunity for growth for quite some time, because there won't be like the time-consuming part of you guys having to set up Facebook ads and having to go through the process of getting rejected by Facebook and having to find out why and what we have to change the ad and all that stuff. This would bypass all of that, and we would have an expert, Justin, managing the driving of leads for us without having to set all of that up. It would be an ideal scenario. That's what I'm trying to do first. If it doesn't do as well as I thought, we'll then move into our next best bet, which is me teaching you how to do YouTube ads using the same YouTube ads I am. But then, you guys still got to set them up on your account. It's a lot more effort. And the Facebook ads and all that stuff, which Facebook's really touchy with advertising. They can close your account down or not let your ad go through and you don't know why. It would just be a lot of fussing around that I'm trying to bypass. So, what are we looking at right now? Let me kind of go over these slides. And even if you can't see them really well, try to make this video as big as you can. But ultimately, these slides are just snapshots that I took during my meeting with Justin today, who again is our lead guy, the guy that I'm working with, who's able to work with us to create specific leads customized for us, and where we get to work with him on where he, so it's not just like buying leads from somebody out there where you're paying like a premium price that aren't designed specifically for you. We're going to a guy who generates leads like that, but getting it at massive wholesale price, kind of partnering with him and able to customize the quality of the leads. much more powerful and much less expensive for much more quality and number of leads. Okay, so what we're looking at here, he has a special tool that integrates with Google. He types in, let's say, CBD buyer. Like if we want to, we started out, the leads that we generated so far targeted people who were interested in CBD products. And we thought, well, let's just go ahead and start there, not opportunity seekers per se, but people specifically interested in CBD products. So he has like this tool that integrates with Google, and he's able to type in CBD buyer. And you see right here, I don't know if you can see it or not, it says groups and communities and posts and comments. He's able to pull up all of these different groups and communities that contain CBD buyers. And then he's able to, he has another tool that then harvests all of the text numbers and all of the Facebook accounts and all of the LinkedIn accounts of these people who are interested in buying CBD or discussing CBD. And then he can target market them through various ways and drive them to our pages, producing the leads. And this allows him to target who we're marketing to and create wholesale leads that are highly targeted. Let me pull up another screenshot. Here is just another example of where he might search for like opportunity seekers. So initially, the leads we've been generating so far, which is just early in the process, were people that were interested in CBD products. But I asked him, let's go ahead and focus, let's shift that focus. So those of you in the Rotator and those of you who will be employing our online marketing strategies that I'll be introducing to you this month that are in level 2 and 3, we're going to be focused more on opportunity seekers. So for example, he might, he used that Google tool, and I don't know which slide where it shows that, but he used the Google tool I just showed you a minute ago, and he typed in like network marketing professionals. And that led him to something that said Rock Your Network Marketing Business Group. And so he entered that in Facebook and it pulled up this group. He's able to pull up all the people that follow that group. She has like 341, sorry, that's a page, a Business Academy for Women in Network Marketing. He's able to pull up the 341,000 people, you probably can't see that, but 341,000 people that follow that group, he's able to target them in his marketing. He's able to send advertising to them on Facebook Messenger. He's able to advertise them to them through text message and specifically target them, as well as these other groups. So 2,700 people follow this group, 4 steps to creating a full-time income in network marketing. And we can test ads and ad messaging to these specific audiences that lead to the video I just talked about, where Robin and I will be talking about why this is a timely, huge opportunity. Most of these people that follow network marketing have never even enrolled a person or never got any momentum at all. So our whole gig is to show them, hey, come into this team line and you're going to see like how our system and our expertise creates momentum in your organization before you've even had time to figure out what's going on. And once we have your attention, then you're going to take the time to figure out what's going on. And we're going to be able, and then we're going to show you how you can really blast this thing off. So it's not going to be too hard for us to get their attention. We're going to be focusing now, not on the products, but on professional or people that follow professional network marketers, opportunity seekers, this kind of thing. There's some other examples I wanted to show you. This was just another snapshot of where he was showing how he's searching for people, if we wanted to target people on the product specifically. Not sure what that was. We could also target other network marketing companies. So for example, he typed in CTFO in his tool, and like it says CTFO business. I mean, it's just a Google, but it allows him to immediately go to the groups and communities and posts and comments of that key term, and then target people who have been engaging in those communities and literally target them through text ads, through Facebook Messenger ads, and other types of advertising that directly targets those people. Really, really powerful. We could, here he typed in best online business. There's 2,200 people following best online business group. This one isn't so big, but just gives you an example again of how he can go about harvesting leads that target who we're looking for. this was just a snapshot that came up when he was showing me how he targeted people interested in CBD type products that led him to this group. And he was saying, like, when you see that these 14 people and these 33 comments and one share, he's able to actually harvest those people's text numbers and their other profile information and do advertising directly to them and accumulate a larger list by just continually like searching for his tools to do that for him, searching for people that are engaging in that particular content. CBD oil, same thing if we were to target people on products. And I'm not saying we won't again target people on the products. I just think our biggest opportunity between now, probably the next 18 to 36 months, is to be targeting business opportunity seekers. At some point after we saturate that market, and we would be a pretty massive size by then, and anyone here now would be in a phenomenal position, we'll start to transition more at some point between a year and a half and 3 years from now. We'll transition into more of an emphasis on the products. But for now, the big window of opportunity are, still attracting people interested in the opportunity. The CBD buyer's guide. So he was just showing me how this leads him to particular groups. There was one other one I wanted to show you that had dealt with Amazon, but it doesn't look like I pulled up the screenshot for it. So I'll just explain it. That's not what we're looking at. Oh, this is something else. I'll talk about that in a minute. Let's leave that up for a second. I got another screenshot that I wanted to show you where he showed a picture of Amazon and a particular, I can't remember, a particular book title that came up. And so, for example, he had a tool. It was really impressive. He has all these different tools that allow him to target particular audiences that are engaging. So they're not just like an old lead from somewhere, but they're actually engaging recently on a particular topic, whether that's CBD or buying CBD products, or that's engaging with a particular network marketing company that promotes CBD products. Or as I showed you, we could target people with his various tools who are engaging in conversations, in groups, in threads, on Facebook pages, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, who are engaging in conversations about business opportunities, network marketing opportunities, etc. So it's really powerful because you can target your messages specifically to people engaging on the topic recently, which makes a big difference. And and you're not paying this huge premium price that you would pay to big companies that sell leads. You usually have multiple people you're paying and that aren't targeted to exactly what your message is. Here he's advertising to them our specific message, which leads right into where we want them to lead to, where we're generating the lead. It's pretty powerful. So that's how that works. And again, if this is as effective as I think it is, it will be a huge advantage to us because it bypasses the need of me needing to help you set up like your YouTube ads and your Facebook ads. We'll likely move into that anyway because that's my expertise, but this could be a major advantage in removing the time that it takes for you guys to learn and set that stuff up, and the dealing with Facebook ad approval process, et cetera, and the dealing with your new people coming in, having to duplicate the setup and learning of all that process. If we can eliminate that and supply the entire team with leads that are this targeted, obviously that's a major advantage with speed of duplication. And again, I think at some point it will saturate, there's only so much he could produce, but we need to find out where that saturation point is. And my hope is that this can take us a ways before we have to move into teaching you guys how to set up YouTube ads, how to set up Facebook ads. I expect that to happen, but let's maximize what we can get out of this for as long as we can. Because it's, should be obvious to you by now for the way he gets to go about it, and you not having to set up your own ads and go through all that hard part obviously speeds up the process of growth. So we'll maximize this. What I wanted to show you now was this last slide that I had up from our meeting, which is something that I learned that I just wanted to share it with you. So in your My Daily Choice tools, My Daily Choice again being the name of the parent company for Hempworx, if I go to tools and I go to advertising, we're able to set up like a unique tracking link. So if I'm advertising My Daily Choice lead capture page, or if you're advertising yours, you can add like this code to the end of your page. where it's like you add slash question mark source equals, and then you can add whatever you want. You could add like, you could say like Facebook, or you could say YouTube, or you could say like advertising or whatever. And it would, that would be like a tracking link, and you'd be able to see, like I did one named test here, you'd be able to see, like, let's say you made one for Facebook posts, and it said source, you'd say you had it say source equals Facebook posts. Whenever a lead came in, it would say it came from Facebook posts. So you'll be able to see what results you're getting in terms of hits and pre-enrollees from that particular code. And let's say you only marketed that link. So it would look like this. Mine, it would look like http://www. whatever my domain is, that's my Hempworx account, /CBD Karma, that's my username. And then I would add slash question mark source equals, and then whatever identifier I wanted to, and let's say it was Facebook posts, I would market that whole link to, well, it would look something like this, but instead of ABC, it would say Facebook posts at the end. I would market that whenever I did a Facebook post, and it would tell me how well that's doing compared to, let's say, marketing I do on YouTube, or marketing I do with Facebook ads that would have a different tracking link. Or let's say when I email my list, I'd use a different tracking link, so I'd know where the results are coming from. Well, I wanted to set this up for our Rotator, but I can't. And so we're gonna have to find other more creative ways of tracking. And let me just explain to you why I can't use this for the Rotator. If we go to Rotator, let's see here. Where is Rotator? Traffic Rotator. Okay, if we go back to Rotator, this is the Rotator link that I promote to generate leads that rotate through those on the Rotator. I thought, well, what if I just add the tracking link, to the end of this? If I added the tracking link to the end of this, then maybe I thought we were hoping, this is what we were meeting about as well today, we were hoping that when we go to advertising, I'd be able to see which leads I'm generating for the Rotator, like from my social media marketing, versus which leads I might be generating, or which leads, Justin is generating. So we could separate out who's getting what. Because if we go back to the Rotator, you see we're seeing all these hits and we see pre-enrollees, but we don't know which ones of those Justin created versus which ones I created. Now what we do know, he has his own tracking link, so he's able to know how many hits he created, but he's not able to track pre-enrollees that he created, only hits. And I also have used, some of you know about ClickMagic. If you don't follow all of this, it's okay. But there's another tool that we use to track results. And we set up a tracking link that forwards to this, so that we could at least track how many hits we were generating to that tracking link. So we are at least able to differentiate how many hits has he created versus how many hits has my social media created. And I think my social media was somewhere around 200. I've created 245 hits to your lead capture pages. And I forgot what his stats were, but he does have them. And I'll show that stuff with you guys soon. I feel like we're just getting started, so I didn't pay that much attention to his. I wanted to have him turn it on again, and then next time we meet, I'll show you what his results are. But he is able to track how many hits he gets. I have a feeling he has much higher conversions than me for reasons that I've discussed. I discussed it a little bit today earlier. I'll just say again, I think a lot of the people that got leads coming from my social media, I think they were getting clicked on by other people in our group and in our team out of curiosity, and that's going to die down. And I also think a lot of people were clicking in my social media, and then they'd land on a web page that had somebody else's name on it, and they didn't understand, so they didn't opt in. And I'm going to address that with a video that addresses that with them. But we're just getting all this stuff set up. My point is, I had hoped that we would be able to track in the advertising section how many of the pre-enrollees were coming from Justin versus how many of the pre-enrollees were coming from my social media. But it doesn't work that way because, let me explain why. And again, I know this is over some people's heads, and that's okay. Just hang tight. Let's see here. Where am I going? Is this it? No, that's the wrong spot. Traffic rotator, right? Yeah. So the reason why it doesn't work is because when I promote this rotator link, it's sending them to you. It's like you're the enroller. And in my account, I can't pull up contact information on any lead that I'm not the enroller. So I don't know if that makes complete sense to you or not. I'll discuss it. Maybe we can talk about more during a webinar where I can answer questions and stuff. But long story short, I'm not able to track Justin's results versus mine's in terms of pre-enrollees. I'm only able to track how many hits I'm getting versus how many hits he's getting, and that's something we're going to try to sort out and figure out other ways that we can track that. It's not a huge pressing deal right now, but I just wanted to let you know that. For those that were able to follow, I'll keep reinforcing these things as we go forward and make all this more clear. And a lot of, the benefit here is you guys can learn marketing as we go forward too, as we're helping you to actively build. So, okay, so where are we going from here? I told Justin to go ahead and turn on the rotator again. He's gonna be driving people to the same old page that we were using before, this one, rotating through those of you in the top 100 rotator. He's gonna be turning that back on. However, and I'm working over the next couple of days. I'm working hard. Hopefully I can get it done next couple of days. Give me whatever time I need. I can't go any faster than I can go, to give you emails that link into a presentation that you can give those leads that are coming into the rotator. And a lot of you that aren't in this rotator that are generating leads other ways will be able to use those same emails and that same presentation. I'm working on that right now, but it's 7:30 this evening, and I'm already starting to run out of a little bit of energy, creative energy. So give me whatever time I need to finish those up. Secondly, there was a second marketing rotator I referenced earlier today in this presentation. A lot of you qualified for shares in that, 1 to 4 shares. We announced many of the winners, but there have been many more, and we still have to confirm who all those winners are, and I just need some time to get that figured out. As soon as we have that figured out, we're going to load them in and get that rotator applying these same strategies that we're talking about that we're employing with Justin. Okay, but third, those of you who are not in a marketing rotator and those of you who are excited to be able to beef up your marketing, to be able to take advantage of the online marketing strategies that I promised you that we would be able to help you tap into if you're in level 2 or level 3, that's all based off of all of this. Like, all of this is the precursor of that. The testing that I'm doing with Jason, the testing that we're doing with this first marketing rotator, the leads that are coming in. Now we're shifting to, first we started generating leads of people with interest in CBD products, but we talked about it some more. We decided to go with opportunity seekers. We're going to be improving the testing as we go forward in the coming weeks and months. I'm going to give you guys a play-by-play, but once we get this rolling, and once I get everybody who won 1 share to 4 shares in the second rotator plugged in, and we get that rolling, I'm going to begin opening up the opportunity for everybody in level 2 or level 3 to add more juice to your second leg growth by being able to give you an opportunity to jump into more leads. And I don't know what it's going to look like. I will explain it when we're ready. I'm doing this first. What we see come back as he turns this back on, as we set up the emails and the presentations for you, as we start to get feedback on how that's working from you, as we start to do webinars with you and open up a 2-way conversation and talk with you about the leads coming in and talk with you about the process and maybe make some additional adjustments to the presentation and do what good marketers do, make those adjustments in the coming weeks. As we move through that process, there'll come a point, and this is where this is all leading up to, where everybody in level 2 and everybody in level 3 can purchase more access to these leads. But that's after we set it up and after we've proven with our money and our resources, in our time, all these things we're showing you after we've proven what the results are. So you have a tangible idea of what they are, and we can show you and talk about it and quantify it. And I need just to get a little further along, maybe 2 more weeks or so into this before we'd even start to open that up. I don't know yet. We need to see how it plays out, but that's where this is moving. Everyone in level 2 and 3, as long as this works as well as we think it will, we'll get to jump into that. Now, if it doesn't work out the way we think it does, sometimes that happens in marketing, who knows? I mean, one time we had something amazing back in 2008 rolling through, one of my partners did through through Google ads, and it all got shut down. They shut down the whole industry. And, and then we had to do something different. I was already doing something different at the time, but it shut down a major, revenue stream. It's just the way it is in marketing. Then the whole industry had to shift to other methods. A lot of people came onto Facebook at that time. My point is, anything can happen, and be ready for that. But my expectation right now is that this is going to work out pretty darn well for a while. And as we want to ride it as long as we can, because it's a really potentially high leveraging way of reaching highly targeted leads and being able to tweak and perfect our email follow-ups and our presentations for a really particular market, and be able to help you guys blast off your first and second legs with this. So we're pretty excited about it. That's where we're at. Again, just to button this up, Justin is churning the Rotator back on tonight. Now he's going to be focusing on opportunity seekers and not CBD product purchasers. We might go and test more back and forth between the two, but I'm really more gung-ho excited about the opportunity seekers at this time. So that's what's going to start running through here. Those of you who are not in the top 100 Rotator that are yawning, saying, well, how does that help me? Well, it helps you because a lot of these people are either under you. It's going to be helping you drive your first leg, which is a challenge that I've taken on. So it's an important part of it. And I hope you respect and understand how important that is to your business to have people in the top 100 Rotator, even if you're not, or they're above you and you're going to get a lot of the spillover in your first leg. Secondly, all of what we're doing here leads into setting up the online marketing for the second Rotator that many of you are in. And if you're not in either Rotator, if you're not in the top 100 and you're not in the second Rotator, then at least know if you're in level 2 or level 3, well, if you're in level 3, you're in one of these Rotators, but if you're in level 2 and you're not in either of the Rotators, everything we're doing here, as I said a moment ago, is leading up to later this month. Ideally, if everything goes the way it's planned, and I'll keep giving you a play-by-play, it's leading up to you being able to participate into buying these leads, using the follow-up emails specifically designed for these leads. The leads will have already seen me and Robin in a presentation before they even came in, so they're going to be highly qualified leads. And we'll give you everything you need to be able to add more to your second leg building. That's pretty darn powerful. If so, stay tuned for that. Give me the time to roll all this out. And then level 1, you might be yawning, going, how does this help me? I hope I've done a good job of addressing that already. But to button this up, it helps you because you're getting spillover from people above you in both marketing Rotators, and spillover from people above you who may not even be in a marketing Rotator, but are going to be employing the online marketing strategies that I just went over when we open it up later this month. And building that first leg and getting that momentum, that commitment I made to you is no small thing. So hopefully you're cheering and feeling very much excited and involved with that process, because it is very, very challenging to do. We're pulling it off. We're doing it. And having your gratitude is a big way to reward us for it. But when you're feeling disappointed because things aren't happening fast enough for you at level 1 because you want to build your second leg, or we're putting all this in place, that's not very inspiring. So team up with us and really realize how big of a deal it is to have one leg growing for you. And please try your best to follow along and understand how much work we're putting into making sure we fulfill that into the commitment. And then secondly, you can upgrade in the future to level 2, and knowing about what's going on is going to only increase the chances of you seeing how important it is to do so. And then thirdly, if you're in level 1, and even if you're not directly participating in this, don't forget that all of this is being put in place to allow you to attract people in both your first and second leg to these higher commitment levels, where we can, through my emails I'm going to give you this month, and through my presentations that those lead through, attract people who want to partner with me through you as the liaison. You get to leverage me, my experience, all these presentations to attract serious business builders once and for all into both your legs. And then to have me supporting them with these things so they can blast off and duplicate is a very, very big deal, because 2 legs is all you need. And if you're in group 1, level 1 support, and you're wondering, well, how I even get that second leg going, Mike? The answer is appreciate what we're doing, stay plugged in, go through the getting started training, and you'll see links to all of that in your announcement post in your Facebook group. Same thing with level 2, by the way. That's what you should be doing right now while I'm putting all this in place. And help the team by cheering them on, because a lot of this is benefiting you massively. Get in touch with that fact. Don't let negative thinking and impatience and all the crap that's led you to being financially challenged in the first place right now, that's kept you from seizing opportunities properly that have come into your life. Don't let that keep repeating itself. Get deeply in touch with the fact and emotionally, viscerally in touch with the fact that you have something amazing here. Start, build a little fire in your belly and get excited about where you are instead of where you're not. Don't fixate on the fact that you couldn't get into the top 100. Don't fixate on because I could fixate on a million things. I had Hempworx introduced to me 8 months ago. And because of where I was at, I wasn't in a position to take advantage of it. Do you know how much money I'd be making right now if I started 8 months ago? But I don't fixate on that. You maximize what you have right now. If you have only 1 hour a week, you better maximize that week. And when you're brushing your teeth and you're taking a shower and you're getting up from your bed to the kitchen for the first time in the morning to get a glass of water, you better be thinking about this, not a bunch of BS stuff that's in a loop about your problems and your troubles, or you're just going to attract more of that. Even if you're at level 1 right now, we're at level 2, waiting for me to get all of this together to open up the opportunity for you to tap into this online marketing I talked about, or you're in level 1 and you're not anywhere close to being able to upgrade to level 2, everything that we're doing helps you massively. Be in touch with that. Do what you can do, which is going through the Getting Started trainings while I'm putting all of this together. And certainly you always have the opportunity of testing more products, trying out products with people around you, talking to people around you, doing the best you can, employing what's taught in those Getting Started trainings from Jason Cardamone, Aaron Parker, and Aaron Rashkin, your upline. Again, I've tied you into I introduced you to those groups and their Getting Started training in your announcement post in your Facebook group. That's what you should be doing. This is what I'm doing. I've shared with you a detailed review. I'll keep you updated. I'll give you a step-by-step, play-by-play of everything. My promise to you is I'm going to do everything I physically, emotionally, and mentally can to help you create massive momentum, not just in your first leg, but in your second leg. And I hope I did a good job today of sharing with you exactly how I'm going to do it. All right, guys, I'll see you guys soon. I'll have another update for you, probably in a couple days. Those of you in the second rotator, I'll have an update for you, I hope by Monday, if not sooner. I'll see you guys soon.